We left off back in July on page 302. That's what I want to pick up from. Really, just the Siyum HaTefillah as a section. We end davening with Ashrei and the Lemnatzeach and Uvaletzion. Let's see if today we can deal with Ashrei and Lemnatzeach. So, interesting. The Tur and the Shulchan Aruch, there is no mention of this after davening at all. It's actually not part of the Gemara. It doesn't even talk about it as part of the Siyum HaTefillah. However, so we're talking post-Talmudic times. Post-Talmudic times, they decided to add on these additional components to Tefillah.
The davening used to end at Tachanun?
And davening used to end at Tachanun. Yeah, Aleinu, really, original Aleinu was only Takana to be said on Rosh Hashanah. Right? Later on, they added it to Siyum HaTefillah. Right. So, yeah, again, the period that's it. Once you Tachanun, you're done. Like, what else is there to do? You know.
That's why I always leave after Tachanun.
That's why, right. So, but according to the Gemara, in Tefillah Tachanun, once you finish Tachanun, there's nothing else to do. So, now, let's talk about Ashrei. We're going to talk about Ashrei, not, again, before we can appreciate Ashrei in the context of Siyum HaTefillah, we're going to just appreciate Ashrei as Ashrei. So, source number one, Amar Rabbi Lazar, Amar Rabbi Avina, Kol Ha-Meritil Davi B'chol Yom, Shalosh Pamim, Muftach Lo Shu Bein Olam Haba. The person recites Ashrei 3 times, Muftach Lo Shu Bein Olam Haba. Something very significant about Ashrei.
Learning this, like in elementary school, if I just did that, I could do whatever else I want.
Yeah, exactly. Just say Ashrei 3 times a day and you're good to go, right?
There are a whole bunch of things on the other side, though.
You know, why not? And interesting, Rashi says, Shalosh Pamim, Kineged Shalosh Tefillot. So we know that, okay, we say it, but we do twice at Shachrit, and Mariv is Gornish. So says the Rama, Minhag Pasha. This is Minhag. Vanachi lo neda. Then we say Chadi Kaddish. We say Ashrei lo natzeach. Va'afilu b'yamim she'ein omrim. I just realized something. According to this Ramah, the Tur says we say Lam Netzeach, but didn't the guy up top just say it's not mentioned in the Tur? Anyways, I don't know. Etc. So we see here that the Ramah mentions that this is minhag to say Ashrei at the end of Siyum HaTefillah. And the question is why. The Aruch HaShulchan in source 3 and source 4 will give us 2 different reasons why we say Ashrei again. I don't understand. We just said Ashrei. It's like strange. By the way, we do on Shabbos and Yom Tov, we do something a little bit different. We say Ashrei again before Musaf. Uvaletzion is pushed off until the afternoon at Mincha. Kenatzech we don't say because it's the Yom Tov or Shabbos, right? So we have to also appreciate what's going on a Shabbos and Yom Tov that's so different. So first of all, we see from here that Uvaletzion can't be that important to say during Shacharis because you can easily move to Mincha. Right? So we see it's not like, that's what we call it Siyum HaTefillah. And by the way, Lam Netzeach, on a day where there's additional Simcha, also it gets somewhat dismissed. So, again, we see here that it's from an importance perspective, it has a very strange role. So take a look at Orthodox. Orthodox gives us I got to tell you, I never knew this reason. I read this a couple weeks ago. Achar Chatzi Kaddish, Yom Ashrei, Lam Netzeach, Yencha Ubaletzion, Vata Kadosh. Vatam Ashrei, here we go. Mishum, Da'amrinan Bereish Brachot, which we are quoted above, Kol Meritila 3 times during the day, V'dal Shabben Olam Haba. V'lachein, here we go. Tignu B'shachri Shepamim. So why Takana twice a Shachri? Says Rosh Hashanah, Echad Kol Mitzvah, Echad Echad Tefillah, U'b'mencha B'mechad Kol Mitzvah. V'chshem Sheb'shachri yesh Dei Kedushot, Levad Kedusha De Yotzer, She'eno Ela Sipur, Echem Lachim Ormim Kedusha, Chen yesh Yepim Ashrei B'shachrit. Says Rosh Hashanah, you know why we say Ashrei twice? Because there's 2 Kedushas. What are the 2 Kedushas? Classic Kedusha, and in Uvaletzion, there's what? There's an Ashrei. This is very problematic. What's he talking about? Because this will not be very helpful when it comes to Shabbos Yom Tov. Shabbos Yom Tov, I just told you, Shabbos Yom Tov, we push off Uvaletzion until the afternoon. What the answer to that? There's another Kedusha. What's a Kedusha? Kedusha Musaf. So now you understand. When you're going to recite Shachar, when you're going to recite Musaf, you can say Uvaletzion later. However, there's a problem with that, and that is on a day called Rosh Chodesh. But on Rosh Chodesh, what do? We say Uvaletzion, and we say Musaf, and it's like one Ashrei. So you'd have to argue that on Rosh Chodesh, that Ashrei is going on both days. Why don't we recite on Rosh Chodesh V'atzir in the afternoon, like we do in Shabbos Yantiv. The answer is because it's not Shabbos Yantiv, it's just Rosh Chodesh. That's what you have to explain. So again, says the Aruch HaShulchan, reason number one is that Ashrei is connected to Kedusha. That explains it why we do it at Shacharis twice. Oh, what about, and then he went on a tangent, why about the Kedusha that we say before Shema? No, that's descriptive. That's not the same type of Kedusha. Now we understand why we don't say Ashrei when? At night. Now, that's not what Rashi seems to say. We read Rashi in source number 1, Shlosh Pa'amim Keneged Shlosh Tefillah. So, it appears it might be different. I mean, you can still argue that the 3 times Ashrei, 3 Tefillah, but then it would be strange. Why when you say it a Marv? Whereas Aruch HaShulchan seems to connect to Ashrei to the of Kedusha. So, anyways, I'm not sure. Oh, so what's the connect? Where do we see? Why is Ashrei connected to Kedusha? Here's the reason why. Because we say in Ashrei, Aromimcha, Bochoim Avarchaka, Gadol Hashem, Dor Ledor, Hadar Kevodecha, Vezuz Nordech. We deal with Kedusha of God. We talk about God's sanctity. We talk about God's Kedusha. Loharod, Shehu Yitbarach, Miramam, Akol Bracha V'Tila, Shezeu Iyan Kadosh Kadosh. That since we say God is exalted, that's the same idea as Kedusha. Klomar, Kadosh Umuvdal, God is holy, right? And separated Mikol, Biromei Ma'ala. He's separated from any other person's existence. Kavachomer, Biromei Mata, and anything down here. Just like in Kedusha, we say that God's glory fills the entire world. By the way, this is a famous paradox in Judaism. That God's presence is Kol Haaretz Kavodo, and He's also Ayem Makom Kavodo. Where's the Makom Kavodo? Not here, right? That's the paradox. That God is everywhere and He's nowhere at the exact same time. Right? He's Moloch Kol Haaretz Kavodo. His Kavod, His glory is everywhere. But by the way, glory is not God's existence. God's existence is not glory. Glory is glory. Glory is a manifestation of God. But God's existence itself is not part of this world. God's actual existence, Yudke Vavke, is not in this world. It's somewhere else. So we're going to do that before, a number of different shiurim. Right? So when Uncle Moshe says Hashem is here, Hashem is there, doesn't mean that. That's like paganism, maybe. Right? Maybe what he means is that God's glory is everywhere. Right? You can't say God's everywhere. Anyways, that's that for now. וכמו באשרי, שעם כל גדול גדולתו, חנון ורחום וטוב וכל רחמיו, וכל מעשיו. והנה כל הלך יסביר, והוא נותן להם את אוכלם ביתו, פותח את ידיך, על דרך שם מקום שאתה מוצא גדולתו, שם אתה מוצא הבנותו. Where you see God's glory, you see His humility. Meaning, God's glory is that He's everywhere, and what does He do? He dispenses food for everybody. We see that God's humility is still willing to, He provides for everyone. Now, the Aruch HaShulchan brings the second reason, because he says the first reason is good, but he likes the second reason too. Otam. Mazon hanefesh. We focus on mazon hanefesh, spiritual sustenance, through davening. And now we need physical sustenance, because what is the Ashrei? Must be Allah Chol Chai Ratzon, that God provides physical sustenance. And that is, says Aruch HaShulchan, Potech et Yodecha, V'ashini Psukim Shemosifim Kodem, Tilal David, V'char Kach, Tilal David, right, we say it twice, V'hainu Asher, Shevetecha, Shem Shekach Lo, Pasuk V'anachnu, Tisha Psukim de Zimra, Hu Safnu, Mitam Shebe'arnu. And what's the reason why we add those 2 Psukim at the beginning, 1 Pasuk at the end? Because, right, it doesn't fit the acrostic of the alphabet. Okay, go look at what we discussed by Ashrei in terms of Psukkah Zimra. So Aruch HaShulchan brings 2 different reasons. One, that Ashrei is specifically connected thematically to Kedusha, and because of the pasuk God provided spiritual sustenance and wants to focus on physical sustenance. Doesn't explain why I have to do Ashrei twice. And Shachri, unless you can say it's the beginning of the day, there is more of this idea. We'll see. There's more of this notion of beginning our day. We have to focus on the idea of that God provides physical sustenance. Not in the middle of the day. We're in the middle of things, but maybe that would be the only rationale I could think of. Just very quickly, just to finish up with Lamed Tzech. What about Lamed Tzech? So Lamed Tzech is the following. Says the Aruch HaShulchan, "V'kevan she'anu mevakshim parnasotenu," just like we ask for our sustenance. By the way, this is a great pshat in this parak of Tehillim. To me, when I read this morning, this is a good pshat in this parak of Tehillim. Lachein omrim mizmor yanchab yom tzara. Think about it. What's going to between Ashrei and Lamed Tzech? If Ashrei talks about B'dechet Yodecha, and what is Lamed Tzech? B'yom tzara. This is a day of tragedy, day of suffering. Hashem should help us. Hashem should heed our call. And he quotes the, I guess, a Medrash and Brachos. Lama k'tiv yisagevcha Hashem l'kei Yaakov lo Avram v'Yitzchak. It's a good question. How can we say Yishlach yisagevcha Hashem l'kei Yaakov? What about Avram Yitzchak? Why are we still focusing on Yaakov? Good question. Answer: Mikan lebal hakore shikenes buv yashokore. That a person who's calling out should connect with the person that calls, as Rashi explains. Im balatel tel hakore milkol makom. A guy who's schlepping a beam, right? A car has a beam. The guy who's schlepping out a beam from place to place, what does this mean? Klamar, Yaakov shekola banim shelo v'tarach begidulam. It says the nimshal is the following. Yaakov Avinu had a very difficult life. Well, he didn't have it easy. Yosef, Ruvain, wives. He didn't have Paro, Galut. Right? He had it pretty rough. Lavan, Esav. Right? He had a rough life. V'vakash shalem rachamim. And therefore, I'm sure he asked that God should spare his children. We see here that Yaakov, from anyone else in Tanakh, especially in the Torah, is the paradigm of a person who has to work very hard for a living. He has to work hard, he has to work hard for a living, he has to work hard for the success of his children. From Esav and Lavan. And what did God Baruch Hu do? God provided. And therefore, what do we specifically say? We say specifically Yisagev Hashem Yaakov, because it's Yaakov who's God of Yaakov will help us when? B'yom tzara. Because we focus specifically on the Av of Yaakov, because it's the relation of the Yaakov and Baruch Hu who specifically provided for him during his trials and tribulations. And so too, when we're saying this tefillah, Perek of Tehillim, God should in Hashem B'yom tzara. And who is that best, shall we say, forefather to connect the concept of tragedy and suffering, working hard, yet being successful, yet being able to overcome other hurdles in life? What greater person than Yaakov Avinu? And that's why he's mentioned in this Kibbutz Tehillim. Midrash Shachar Tov, again another Midrash. Amru al pasuk zeh, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu b'shashe migatzar l'Yisrael v'hem v'akshim oti, ani oneh otam v'anuchi imo b'tzara. By the way, this is also a Midrash on the Sinet too. That God is in the Sinet, God is even in the thicket, God is in the thorns, and God's presence is even among what would be painful and what would be tragic. Okay. Why do we end with Hamelach? God should respond to us until we call him. Yesh Barshe Tevot Shal Gimel Tevot Elu Otiot Kuf Yud Bet, which are the mispar of the different names of God. Hemi Kureish Motamid Brachem. Okay, fine. I didn't know that at all. V'chein Omrim Mikodem Lakei Bracha. Ele Barachev. V'nachnu B'Shem. Klamar Kulam Yishem Parnasa Mitzad Teva. Everybody, people receive sustenance from nature. V'nachnu Rak B'Shmoit Barach Niftach. How do we receive our sustenance? Through God. Well, this is the same idea we just read in Chumash the other week. In the God's eyes are duration, Eretz Yisrael the whole year. Same idea. Everyone else receives, rain through random nature. The Jewish people receive what they get from God through providence. Okay, fine. All right, that's the idea behind it. And just to end here with Lametzach, when do we say it, when we not say it? So according to Menachag Ashkenaz, Lametzach is twinned with another tefillah called Kel Erech HaPayim, which we say before we take up the Torah. On a day that we don't say Lametzach, we don't say Kel Erech HaPayim, which is a higher level than Tachanun. So when there's a bris, we still say it. When there's an Isru Chag, Menachag Ashkenaz, we still say it. Right? So again, it has a more, shall we say, it's it stays in our liturgy. It's not removed as simply as Tachanun is removed. There's a Chasen, no Tachanun. We still say Lametzach. Right, so that's the idea behind it. It requires, I guess, additional level of Simcha in order not to say it, as with the Tachanun, which we don't require the additional Simcha necessarily in order not to say it. Okay, let's continue, God willing, another time. We'll finish Uvalat Zion and Shir Shel Yom. And then we have the Pita Maktoret, and we'll get to Aleinu and Simat Tefillah. So we'll finish the section, hopefully, very soon. And then really is the new topic, which is the sanctity, the Kedusha of the Beit Knesset, which always needs chizuk. Have a wonderful day, everybody.